All right, what's good, everybody? My name is Marcia Alene. You are tuned into Working Woman Wednesday with Kemar Kane on the Kemar Kane Show. Honestly, I define woman as strength, endurance, power, substance, and just overall magic. You don't have to rush things. Everything truly does happen for a reason, no matter how cliche it sounds. And I don't know, womanhood has taught me to let things be and let things happen the way that they're supposed to happen. So, can't force it. This is difficult. What advice would I give other women? I'll give this advice. A lot of women tend to be selfless, and it's okay to be selfish. And selfish sounds bad to people sometimes, but sometimes you do need to focus on you and your health, because mentally, spiritually, emotionally, if you don't focus on that, you can't pour into others. And you can only give as much as you have inside. So just to make sure you're always full and always, I don't know, filled up so you can pour into others.
Yo, what's happening, man? It's Kemar Kane coming to you all the way live. Your favorite country cousin, your favorite Mississippian, and your best friend. That's right, man. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Working Woman Wednesday. That's right. Excited that y'all been with me on this journey so far in season 2. Man, it's an amazing situation. We had some great guests so far, and we have another amazing guest on today, the beautiful and beautifully talented Miss Marcia Alene. Marcia is an author of a book called No Girlfriends Allowed, also executive produced a series, web series called No Girlfriends Allowed. She's a speaker, and we're going to be getting into all things Marcia on today. So, Marcia, how you feeling?
Feeling like summer.
Feeling like summer?
Feeling like summer right now.
Good deal.
No, I feel good. Feel great, yeah.
Good. Explain to the viewers, what exactly is No Girlfriends Allowed?
No Girlfriends Allowed is basically self-awareness in your dating experience. Everybody has their own situations, but everybody tends to go through the same things, whether it be heartbreak or, hurt, pain, and whatnot. What the book is about is how to find you in the process and get to the best place for yourself. So definitely self-awareness while dating.
Do you have a favorite chapter in the book?
It always changes. What's my favorite chapter now? What's my favorite chapter today? Actually, my favorite chapter is the bonus chapter, which is Limitless right now. And it's just one of those things where people try to put ceilings on you, or you might put ceilings on yourself, and just how to break through those things that you feel like limits you. So right now, my favorite chapter.
What have you felt limited in your past or even presently? What have you felt limited in?
I guess from my upbringing and everybody being married, and this is what you do. You go to school, you get your degree, you get married, you have a family. And so right when you get your degree and you're like, okay, so now where's this husband? That's the part that I think limited me a lot, because I'm like, I'm gonna buy my first house with my husband. I'm gonna do this with my husband first, and I'm gonna hold off on all these things. And now in my 30s, I'm like, I could have got that house. I could have traveled more. I could have done those things earlier. Why was I waiting? So that was probably my biggest limiting factor.
So the upbringing, taught marriage, taught home, taught family. When did you in your younger years come to the realization that, hey, I want to test out this relationship thing and see how it goes? How was that first relationship, and how did it help teach you going into other dating experiences?
So to be raised, especially in church, especially with marriage, family-oriented environment, and being told this is what a wife should be, this is what you should be as a girlfriend, and all of that, trying to follow the rules and then getting smacked in the face, that's like the biggest hurt ever. So I don't know, what I've learned now is like I said, sometimes you just gotta let things go and not force it, like I said before. to go into a relationship thinking this is my husband, that can like take you into a deep spiral when it doesn't work out.
How was Marcia's childhood coming up in general?
I had a good childhood.
Okay.
Real, I'm not gonna say basic, but real just structured, and I had a great parents, and my mom especially. I did everything. I did ballet, tap, jazz, modern gymnastics, piano, clarinet, like anything I wanted to do, she supported it. So I had a great upbringing, to be honest.
Okay. And you're from where?
Chicago.
What brought you to the South?
Clark Atlanta University.
How was that experience?
Like BET.
BET?
No, I mean, at the time they were filming, Stomp the Yard and doing all these music videos, and I mean, it was fun, to be honest. I did enjoy my college experience. And I guess enough for me to stay in Atlanta. Yeah.
Good stuff. When it comes to the topics that you speak on, what are some of your topics that you touch on?
When I speak? I think the biggest topic is celibacy, because that's one of my chapters. So people always ask me questions like, well, where do you stand with it? And it's literally, I look at celibacy as a fast, just like any other type of fast, like fasting from food or whatnot, because just because you don't have sex doesn't mean you're going to get married. And just because you're having sex doesn't mean you're not going to get married. So, you know, people use it as a bargaining tool, like, oh, if I hold out for this long, he's going to want to be with me. And that chapter kind of just tackles more of a healthy view on sex, instead of looking at it as either a tool to try to get something that you want or just recklessness because you don't know what you want.
And so, other topics that you may speak on.
What else? Rape, because that's also in that chapter. And it's crazy because now you have this Me Too movement. I mean, it's been around, but now it's, you know, big and media-wise. And so now that's becoming more prevalent in conversations. And it's a tough topic to tackle at all times, but yeah.
Yeah, I saw that the Me Too movement really been around since like 2012.
Yeah.
I thought it was like fairly new, but it's not. What do you think about the Me Too movement and all the things that are coming up with that in Hollywood, you know, even in some people's workplaces where they're not able to have that much of a spotlight, if you will. But how do you feel about that
the Me Too movement? It's, you know, the good, the bad, and ugly, but it's what comes with the territory, you know. Rape isn't new. This has been happening forever. I mean, everybody has a story with somebody, uncle, cousin, somebody molested somebody growing up, and then the mama, grandmother don't say anything, and it's just what people are used to. And I think women are, and men, because it happens to men too, but I think people are so used to being hush-hush about it and just having to sweep it under the rug and swallowing it, eating it, acting like it didn't exist. So the positive with the Me Too movement is it gets people to speak up and it gets the conversation started. The negative is nobody has really held the rapist accountable in all these years, that now when people are getting, you know, with all these actors left and right being exposed in Hollywood, they're like, no, not him, not him. Why? Because he was your favorite actor? You know, like what makes him exempt from the possibility of him doing this? Not to say that people don't lie, but the percentage of women or men who lie about actually being abused is very, very small compared to the amount of people who've actually been assaulted. So, you know, the good is the fact that it gets the conversation started and it gives people the courage to like face something that they haven't been able to face. But, you know, the negative is just the feedback of what you're used to, which is people ignoring you.
So you mentioned something about self-awareness.
Yes.
That is something that is like slowly on the rise, but yet on the rise. Talk about a point where you weren't aware of yourself, and how did you come to a point of self-awareness? I'm
going to say I've always been aware to some degree. It's just admitting it. So I've always been aware of what's going on. I think I've just become more vocal in the past probably 5 years or so. And I know that's not answering your question about name a time I wasn't, but I'll name a time where I hit my lowest point, which was 2014 when I lost every single thing that I owned, and the only thing I had was a toothbrush and some socks. So that's just when you're devastated over a loss, but then it's an ironic moment where you have a feeling of freedom. Like in the midst of losing everything, I felt lighter. And after that, stuff just didn't matter as much as I thought it did. So I just became more vocal.
Yeah.
So.
Do you feel stronger now than you did in the past?
No.
No. Wow.
No.
Why not?
Because I don't think you can ever be what you once were. So before you've experienced the hurt and the pain and the damage, you were just confident. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, in certain areas. For me, in high school, I had no thoughts about a lot of things that I have thoughts of now. I'm paying attention to things now that I didn't think twice about. And I think that as you've been broken down and you rebuild, you're still not that same. You lose that innocence, you just lose some stuff that you can not really ever get back. You just have to continue to, that's why affirmations are important. That's why, people talking about their peace and their sanity is important right now. It's because you've been broken down so much that you don't want anybody to come and trigger you at this moment. Like, I need all negativity away from me because you're going to trigger me to get back to a place that I don't want to be. So, yeah, I can't say I can't say, I don't know. Because maybe that's strength in that, but I don't know. Maybe when I have kids one day, I'll be like, but right now, no.
So, what keeps Marcia going? Like, with you experiencing the different things that you experienced, like, what keeps you going?
What keeps me going is not worrying about the things I can't control and focusing on the things that I can. That has been the biggest change. So the things I can control are my finances and my career path. I can't control relationships. So I think that's why relationship is such an ongoing topic. It's never ending because you can, if you want to make more money, you either get another job, switch career fields, go back to school, whatever. You can control that at any capacity. But when it comes to another human, you can't control that person. So it's like, I'm going to focus on this, and if this comes and it fits in my life, then great. And if it comes and it doesn't, then great. But you'll know the difference because either somebody's adding to you or taking away. And if you're depleting from me, then you can go that way. But I'm going to continue to focus on here.
Controlling the controllables. Let's see. It's a lot to unpack there. I do want to talk about, not only is the Me Too movement a big thing, not only is self-awareness becoming a big thing, but mental illness is a huge thing
right now.
What are your thoughts on that?
Once again, glad the conversation is happening because 15 years ago, when I've had my first suicide, I guess halfway attempt, and I think my first attempt was 21. You get called crazy, you're dramatic, over-exaggerating, all of that. And, excuse me, in the, especially in the Black community, that's just prayed away. You'll be okay, that's the devil, And I don't think people knew how to handle me then. So once again, I'm glad it's a topic now because people are not just killing themselves for, I just want to go die. That's not, they just want their internal pain to go away in some capacity. And sometimes people try to make their internal pain match externally, whether that's killing themselves, whether that's cutting themselves, whatever that might be. They just want that pain to physically happen, match what they feel. So I'm glad that mental health is, once again, something that's brought into the media, especially with all of these people killing themselves. Once again, not new. But now it's kind of it went from 10 years ago where I heard people say Black people don't commit suicide. And now it's kind of are you okay? Let's have a conversation. And people are not quick to brush it off as much as they did in the past.
Do you think that more people now, knowing the things they know about these things, Do you think that they're more compassionate?
Absolutely. Absolutely more compassionate, more empathetic. Like, my mom has been saying this all year. She's like, this is the year of your healing. Because between rape, between like trying to commit suicide, all that, everybody that was aware or around has been calling me, contacting me in some form or fashion and apologizing for their part. I mean, something that goes back as far as high school.
Wow.
People are like, I'm sorry for my part in this. You know, even with like 13 Reasons Why. That series being so popular, it's, you know, people are like, oh, it glorifies suicide. No, it doesn't. It makes you understand what it takes to get to a point where someone breaks. You know, so definitely more compassionate, more empathetic, more willing to have a conversation and listen. Instead of being as judgmental, we have a very judgmental society, you know, and I think people are starting to realize everybody got issues. Everybody got problems. Everybody's going through it. And you don't know how you're about to hurt the next person with your words or your actions. And it makes you more aware. Like, maybe I'm projecting my pain onto the next person and it's triggering their pain. So I think people are thinking more and listening more.
Like that. How did you deal with like kind of self-healing, or did you go see someone, get counseling, or how did you work that out?
This is a sensitive subject because I know I would probably like piss a lot of like professionals off, but I think counseling sucks in a lot of areas. Okay. Maybe it's better now, but it was garbage. Just, you know, you have professionals who've read a book to study what they think they know, so when they talk to you as if they think they're helping you, but they're not really having an authentic conversation with you. They're doing like textbook stuff. First two therapists I saw, I went to punch both of them in their throat. For real. The first person I saw, my mom got him off of TV because she doesn't live in Atlanta. So she's like, oh, I'm just trying to get you some help. Here's a counselor I saw on a reality TV show. Like, no, that's not who I want to go see. But when it actually started to help was the first person I talked to was the first lady of the church I was a part of at the time. And she wasn't like churching me and scripturing me to death. She was just having a conversation. That was the first time I felt like someone cared. And I think when people are going through it, going through the depression, going through just anxiety, mental anguish of some sort, they just want somebody to understand instead of brush them off or preach to them or give them some textbook stuff. Like, actually just listen and get down to and be genuine, you know? So that was the first time there was a form of counseling that helped. And then I think the thing that helped me the most was reading. I turned off the TV, radio, everything. So like when I went through my celibacy period, it wasn't just sex. It was TV, it was food, it was radio, it was everything. Like, it was a long period of time where I just went with the bare minimum and just was living in my own thoughts. And then that's when I started incorporating a lot of self-help books and things of that nature. And I think that helped me tremendously on my own.
What out of the books that you've read, what's your favorite? And out of that book or any book, which line or chapter or whatever is currently helping you today?
I'm going to easily say 4 Agreements.
Okay.
And I'm going to say the chapter or line where it says, don't take things personally. When you just step outside of thinking everything is about you, and you know how, I'll give an example. So you write something on social media about somebody's cookies don't taste good, and then somebody's like, my cookies back in '94, you ate them. Like, why do you think my post is about you? You know what I'm saying? Like, so the whole don't take things personal has helped, especially in the era of social media, because people always just want to attack you for some reason. Like I said, I can post who's up, and they're like, well, why are you up? You need to go to bed. Like, I just want to know why you up. I can't sleep. Like, you know what I'm saying? But But yeah, don't take things personally. It's probably the biggest thing I've been able to live by in the past few years because I don't get offended.
That's good. Yeah. When it comes to your mother, right? Mm-hmm. You mentioned that she called you from up top, from home, saying, "Hey, Marcia, you can go get help from me." This person. Was it hard for you to tell your mother what you were going through so that she could help?
No.
Or did she just kind of pick up something was going on?
I tell my mom everything.
Okay.
So she's always aware for the most part. I think me and her have grown tremendously together. I think there's things that she learned through things that I've been through and how to handle it. So like now that she knows or comes across other people that might be going through similar things that I went through, now she's able to handle them with care because she saw what I went through. Mm-hmm. But I think I was kind of like the guinea pig, you know what I'm saying? But I love where we are now because I listen to her talk and I'm just like, I can't believe, you know, we're at this place in life where she's always been understanding. She's never been judgmental, like at least towards me, you know. But there's things that she admits now, like she's just grown a lot. We both grown a lot, and I guess experience is the greatest teacher in this case. And she's always been my biggest supporter. Like I said, growing up, I did everything. She's my biggest fan. I'm her only child. Yeah.
I know that.
Yep. Yeah. So she's my everything, and she just has a good heart. She has a heart of gold. Always wants the best.
You ever find yourself missing that, like, being able to reach out and touch her, like in real life, being so far from home?
I'm not a physical touch person. That's why love language is really important. I'm not. Like, I like my space. I like being by myself. I'm so okay. Like, my mom was like, how can you sit in a house with nothing on in complete silence? That's my thing. She's like, I gotta have a TV on or something. I'm like,
I gotta have some music.
I can chill in complete silence for days.
Wow.
And be straight. But
very interesting.
Yeah, she's not the same in that aspect. But do I miss her all the time? But we talk 20 million times a day, so I feel like I always, you know.
Always around. Okay. Anything else that you would like to share about No Girlfriends Allowed, or the web series, or the book?
You know, to be honest, with the web series, that's just been a journey because it was my first time doing anything in the film aspect, and it's just been a learning curve. And it took, in my mind, the project should take 2 weeks, and it's been a year. So I'm just ready for it to come out.
So, are things looking pretty close to?
For the first time, yes. Yeah, for the first time, we went through like 3 editors, and it's been a process, but it's been a great learning experience to know what to do moving forward. But yeah, for the first time, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel with this. So
with these projects, like, how does it feel to actually finish something? How does it feel to actually start, do, and finish something?
It feels amazing, but it's like, okay, you set a goal, you smash that goal, and then it's over. And then it's like, now what?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Now what? And I always get to a place where I'm like, okay. And I know when it comes to marketing and social media and things of that nature, it's very important to post. I'm so old school. Like, it's so hard for me to, like, I might have 2 selfies in my phone total, you know, so I'm like,
really?
like, yeah, so it's
That's
like,
unheard of.
well, I got a new phone too, but before then it was like 300, but that's still not a lot in the grand scheme of like 5,000 pictures that people have, because it was like, you know how iPhone separates, and it's like, okay, you might have this many pictures in your album, and then it'll say 400 are selfies, and then mine was like 1,500 are screenshots. So I'm just screenshotting all day, like. But but I haven't been able to, I guess, get into the new age of things. Like, I still like writing in books and like, you know, people do their planners on their phone. I'm still old school.
Yeah,
like, yeah, I still like physical books instead of digital. So I'm trying to get the grandma out of me and get into the digital side of things.
I love the paper.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is next for Marcia?
What is next?
Besides the web series.
Beside the web series, there is a book number 2. It is, for the most part, done. Mm-hmm. It's just when I have the release inside of me to say, now it's time.
So it's waiting in the chamber.
It's just waiting.
Okay. What I want you to do now is look into this camera right here. I want you to speak to your younger self.
Oh, Lord.
And any young woman out there, any piece of advice that you would give your younger self or any other young woman, what would you tell them right now?
Younger women. What I would tell younger women is don't take anybody's advice and live in your own truth. I know that's bad, huh?
Simple as that.
Yeah. Like, literally don't listen to anybody because everybody's just telling their experience. It doesn't mean that's going to be your experience.
Sheesh. Ladies and gentlemen, you just tuned into another episode of Working Woman Wednesday with special guest, the beautiful and the beautifully talented Miss Marcia Alene in the building. Marcias coming to you all the way live, your favorite country cousin, your favorite Mississippian, and your best friend. Until next time, y'all. Yeah.
Wednesdays.
Hey.